Shalom, shalom, Israel. We give all honor, all glory to the Father Yahweh, and we do so by His only begotten Son, Hamashiach Yahushai, my brother Yakal, chosen Gadite. And today I want to talk about marriage, a union between husband and wife. Uh, those that don't know, me and my wife, my rib, we got married yesterday. Which I mean, we already were married through the eyes of the Most High, but we did through Esau's law. We got our certificate officiated yesterday. I had some of my close brothers with me, family. We give a shout out to Brother Gabar, Brother Obadiah, Brother Yasharah, Brother Shalimar, Brother Gad, all my close ox that tuned in and came in and showed some support. Family that came and supported me and my rib through a very special day. It was very beautiful. I just want to give all praise Most High for that. So I just ain't gonna be too deep of a class or whatnot. I'm not even gonna say a class, more of a testimony of my experience and that I've gone through in my past and what I'm going through now. Now being in this truth, keeping these laws, keeping these statutes and commandments, and understanding the scripture when it comes to marriage, how to have a successful marriage, and what we can do to build as a nation, so we're not looked upon by these other nations of people as people, as we just being baby mamas and baby daddies and fornicating and having kids outside of marriage. Like us as a people, we need to break that generational curse of lying down with a woman, or even women laying with men just to be a jump off or a one night stand. It's something this should be something that should be sacred, and you lay with a woman, you should surely make her your wife. So I'm gonna give the classic, the good old classic Hebrews chapter 13 and verse 4 to start it off with. We're gonna go to Hebrews chapter 13 and verse 4. This is the book of Hebrews chapter 13 and verse 4. Marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled, but whoremongers and adulterers God will judge. What is that saying? So marriage is honorable in what? In all things, marriage is honorable, and the bed is undefiled. What does that mean? Man, me and my rib, if I want to do backflips in the bed, we can do backflips in the bed. If I want to swing off the chandelier and power bomb into my bed, I can do that. That my bed is undefiled with the Most High, with marriage. So, if you're you're out there, boyfriend and girlfriend, you're not planning on marrying this woman, the Most High is going to judge that, man. You're being a whoremonger. You're being adult. You even in the world and the truth. If you're dealing with a woman and she's married, or you're dealing with a man, that he's married, he ain't separated from his wife, or she ain't separated from her husband. Hey, the most High is gonna judge y'all for that, man. Real talk, the Most High is gonna judge you, and just make sure you're doing things the right way, man. Especially if you're in this truth, because of them judgments from the Most High. Knowing what he ain't dealing with that. So whoremongers and adulterers, the Most High is gonna judge, man. So you should be careful with that thing. You lay down with that woman, you shall surely make her your wife, and you gotta get the paperwork with Esau, man, because I don't want, Lord forbid, I don't want nothing to happen to me, and I can't leave nothing with my wife, right? Or something happens with her or my kids, or we can't support each other, in that time where one of us is gone. So you got to get that paper, you got to get that certificate to solidify it. But in the eyes of the Most High, you lay down with that woman, you should surely make her your wife. Uh, let's go to another precept, just to, prove, you know, it's not about really the paper. It's the covenant between you and the Most High, but you want to get that paper. But when you lay with that woman, that's your wife. Let's get an example with Isaac and Rebecca. We don't see nothing about no paper being signed. He took his wife into a tent and made her his wife. Let's go to Genesis 24 and verse 67. This book of Genesis, chapter 24 and verse 67. And Isaac brought her into his mother's Sarah's tent and took Rebekah, and she became his wife. She what? And she became his wife, and he loved her. And Isaac was comforted after his mother's death. So you can see right there in the scripture that Isaac took Rebekah into his wife, into his mother's tent, and made her his wife. So obviously, they became one flesh. He lay with her, and from that day forward, that was that man's wife. All praise the Most High. Let's go to Exodus chapter 22 and verse 16. Like I said, it's not going to be like, I'm not trying to get too deep. I'm not trying to make this long. It was just on my spirit to just bring out a couple of scriptures after, my ceremony yesterday. And it was just on my spirit to just, bring out a couple of scriptures when dealing with marriage, man, and how you're supposed to be if you're an Israelite. And you know these laws, statutes, and commandments. You know that you need to be marrying your woman. We don't do boyfriend and girlfriend. You're not messing with nobody's wife. You're not messing with nobody's husband. And you're when you lay down with that woman, that you're not committing fornication or adultery. Having sex with no intent of being with that woman. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna go to Exodus chapter 22 and verse 16. And if a woman entice a maid that is not betrothed means a woman that's not, engaged or promised to another man already. Let's start from the top. Exodus chapter 22 and verse 16. And if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed and lie with her, he shall surely endure her to be his wife. You should surely make that woman your wife. She's not promising anybody. She's not engaged, promised to another man, and you lay with her. You got to make her your wife. What's entice mean? That means you spend that game. You know what I'm saying? You spend that game, and she's she's feeling your stilo. The swag on point or whatnot, and you don't take the necessary steps at that time to approve her or court, but y'all end up laying together. You shall surely make that woman your wife. Thus saith the Lord. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 23 and verse 17. Deuteronomy chapter 23 and verse 17. And lo, he hath given accusations of speech against her, saying, I found not thy daughter a maid, and yet these are the tokens of my daughter's virginity. And I don't need that. I'm sorry, Slakia 23 and 17. Slakia. This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 23 and verse 17. There shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel, nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel. What is that saying? There should be no whore in Israel. You don't want to make these women in Israel whores by whoring them out, not marrying these women. This is the law. This is Deuteronomy. Thou shalt not make a whore to the daughters of Israel. What's that saying? You're not just gonna be sleeping around with Most High's children in the 12 tribes and not marrying these women. You should not make a whore out of these women. You must marry them. You know what I'm saying? Let's go to Genesis chapter 2 and verse 24. Matter of fact, I'm gonna jump up to verse 23. Genesis chapter 2 and verse 24. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. What is that saying? One, they shall be one flesh. That means it's one mind. You have one mindset. Hold on one second. Y'all on one accord, one mind. Shalom, shalom, sis. Shalom, sis. Uh, y'all on one mind, one accord, one tempo, one beat. That's being one flesh. Also, when you lay down with your woman, that's one flesh. But one flesh also, the spirit is, you know, what I'm thinking, she's thinking. How I'm moving, she's moving. Uh, the the way my standards is her standards. Uh, that's being one flesh. We're agreeing amongst each other, and we're gonna get a precept to that too. We're gonna get a precept to that. Let's go to Amos chapter 3 and verse 3 to about agreeing amongst each other. And this can be with your brothers, this can be with your sisters, but also with your wife and your husband. We're gonna go to Amos chapter 3 and verse 3. Can two walk together except they be agreed? Can I marry a woman, or can she marry a man and they don't agree amongst each other? It ain't gonna work. You can, but you think it's gonna work if y'all don't agree on certain topics. So if I'm keeping the law, why would I marry or deal with a sister in the world that's keeping holy days? I mean, that's keeping holidays, so-called holidays. That's eating unclean food. What that it won't work. So how can we try to build a marriage and we don't agree on just the simple things, the laws, knowing who we are as people, the way that we're supposed to roll, the way we're supposed to portray ourselves, is not going to work. So we're going to bring this. We're going to do this. Say this. We're going to read the scripture one more time. We go to Amos chapter 3 and verse 3. Can two walk together except they be agreed? We have to agree. We have to agree on. I mean, really everything that how I'm rolling. Because it's really what the the man. You're in this truth as an Israelite. It's really like how I'm rolling. You got to roll how I roll. If you ain't rolling how I'm rolling, then this ain't gonna work. And I already told I'm not gonna deal with no women in the world. I had my experiences, my past, relationships, ex-wife, my kids' moms, my son's mom, and now that I'm in this truth, I know what I stand on, what I want to be in life, what I want to be as a husband, and most importantly, who I want as a wife. Moving forward, because I'm not about to waste my time dealing with no BS any longer. So that's what I stand on. Uh, but let's talk about this. Let's talk about marriage. Like, we gotta also realize, like, when it comes to marriage, like, the Most High, He honors that thing. When a man and a woman come together, and they make a covenant between Him to be with each other till death do you part. Death do you part. Not just messing around. Baby mama, baby daddy. Most High ain't dealing with that. Even you gotta realize that the Most High Yah, he had a marriage with the children of Israel. When you think Christ, that's our husband as a parallel. The most Christ is my husband as a parallel in Israel. I'm supposed to honor the Yahushai as his the wife in full submission, loving the husband, Christ, Yahushai. Let's get a couple precepts about the Most High being the marriage of in Israel. We're gonna go to Hosea chapter 2 and verse 19. Hosea chapter 2 and verse 19. This is the book of Hosea chapter 2 and verse 19. And I will betroth thee unto me forever. Yeah, I will betroth thee unto me in righteousness and in judgment and in love kindness and in mercies. Verse 20. I will even betroth thee unto me in faithfulness, and thou shalt know the Lord Yahweh. So what's that saying? The Most High saying that when you betroth somebody, what's that? When you betroth a woman, you're engaged to that woman. You're promised to that woman. The Most High is letting Israel know, like, I'm promised to you. You know, you're in faithfulness and in his judgments. What does that say? It says betrothed to him forever. Like that's what marriage is about. It's about it's about forever. This is not no temporary thing. This ain't no fling. This ain't no, oh, I'm mad at my wife. I'm mad at my husband. I'm about to file a divorce. No, there is no divorce in Israel. The only reason why there was divorce in the beginning of Moses is why? Because he knew that our hearts was wicked. But like Yahweh Shai said, divorce was never meant to be. There's only one way you can divorce your wife, and I'm gonna get to that too. And you know, with my situation, I was able to divorce my ex-wife in righteousness, and the Most High it sees that as a righteous divorce. But we're gonna get into that a little later. I'm not gonna jump the gun. Let's go to Revelation chapter 19 and verse 7. Revelation chapter 19 and verse 7. This is the book of Revelation chapter 19 and verse 7. Let us be glad and rejoice and give honor to him. For the marriage of the Lamb is come. Who's the Lamb? That's Yahweh Shai. Who's the marriage? To Israel. And his wife, which is Israel, have made herself ready. What's that? We made ourselves ready. We're keeping these laws. We know who we are as a people. We're not calling ourselves black. We're not calling ourselves Mexican. We're not calling ourselves Indian. We're making ourselves ready. Verse 8. And to her was granted that she should be arrayed in fine linen. What's that fine linen? That's as being a new creature. That's as all the dirt, all the sin that we was committing willfully. We're now not doing that. We're in a clean, fine linen. Let's stop at top of verse 8 again. Revelation chapter 19 and verse 8. And to her was granted that she should be arrayed in fine linen, clean and white. For the fine linen is the righteousness of the saints. And we know who the saints are. The saints are the Israelites. But what was it saying though? Like we were in fine linen, clean and white. That means the old person that we was about, the way we used to go about things, the way we used to fornicate or commit adultery, or be in full wickedness, not keeping the law. We was now prepared for this marriage with Yahweh Shai. You know what I'm saying? So Yahweh Shai and Yahweh, they look at marriage. It's nothing to play with. You know, that's a very serious thing, man. Yeah. So that's just a couple of examples of with marriage between us, with Yahweh Shai being our husband and us being the wife, and how the Most High Yahweh bid a marriage between of all Israel, all the children of Israel. Let's go to Sirach. We're gonna go to the Apocrypha. I got a lot of Apocrypha precepts too. So let's go to Sirach. Sirach is one of my favorite books in the Apocrypha too. There's a lot of wisdom, a lot of understanding. We're gonna go to Sirach chapter. Let's go to chapter 6 and verse 7 first. There we go. Sirach chapter 6 and verse 7. This is the book of Sirach chapter 6 and verse 7. If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him. Now that can go into your brothers, brothers that you deal with. That can go into like sisters. You know what I'm saying? But even when you're finding a wife or you're finding a husband, you want to prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him. What does that mean? So, like with my wife, We went to the proving stage. Like, I would do things purposely just to see how she would react. I would have those scenarios that she didn't know that I was analyzing to prove like how she gonna react to that, or how she gonna go about doing certain things. And that's in an improvement stage. Like, you don't want to just jump into because you're burning, or you ain't dealing with nobody. You don't want to rush into marrying somebody without proving them first, because you mess around and marry this woman, and you're in this truth, and you find out that she's a pure demon, or you're like, well, wait a minute, I thought that I didn't know you didn't know how to cook. Like, how you not know that she didn't know how to cook, or how you know that she don't keep the house up in order, or how she deals with her kids. You got to prove her first, or even with us men, ladies, like, prove this man first. Like, see how he reacts to certain scenarios. Does he stand on business? Does he go to work on time? Does he have a reason to be slothful at the house? Uh, when he sees that you got your issue going on, like, is he stepping up with the kids, or making something to eat, or like little thing like that. That's about proving a friend first, because you mess around and marry somebody, and if you say you're in this truth, you can't just divorce. You can't divorce your wife, or you can't divorce your husband. Especially your wives. You can't divorce your husband at all. So you gotta be very wary in the decisions that you make, because it's supposed to be a everlasting covenant, just like how the Most High Yahweh said it was a covenant forever with Israel when He bid them into His marriage. So make sure you prove each other first. You know what I'm saying? Um, let's go to, since we're in Sirach, let's go to Sirach chapter 26 and verse 1. Sirach chapter 26 and verse 1. This is the book of Sirach chapter 26 and verse 1. Blessed is the man that have a virtuous wife, for the number of his days shall be double. Well, so what's that saying right there? Man, blessed is the man that has a virtuous wife. We're gonna go into what a virtuous wife is, but the thing where it says, for the number of his days shall double. So think about it. Like, life is already short, right? I'm 39 or whatnot, about to be 39. Uh, you know, who knows how long I got to live? Like, the most High only knows. But you find you a good wife, those days are gonna double. When you find you a solid wife that's keeping these laws, keeping the Most High first, being submissive to you as a wife, you know, teaching her children. We're all on the same accord. My days are gonna double as a man, dealing with a righteous woman. So, you know, who knows how long I'm gonna be here? Only the Most High know. But while I am here, I need me make sure I have me a solid wife that's gonna make sure that my days are gonna double while I am here on this earth. So, because man, you get you a wicked sister, man. There's young men are stressing you out. Your days might come short, so you just gotta be careful with that, man. Uh, let's go to verse. We're gonna say in the same chapter. Let's go to verse 14. And man, when I read this verse, like, we're gonna get into it. I'm not gonna jump again. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 26 and verse 14. Silent and loving woman is a gift of the Most High, and there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed. What's that saying? Like, that's not saying like, oh, you need to shut up, don't say shit, don't say nothing. But what a silent woman, that can be just, like especially in our sisters, like especially Judah, Southern Kingdom, a loud mouth, woman always want to be heard, always want to be seen. Look at me, a loud mouth, like talking crap in the house, like that is not what a man of the Most High that's being righteous, keeping his laws, want to deal with. So if you get you a woman that's silent and loving, Most High said that's a gift from Him. You know that's a gift to have a woman that I'd rather you be seen than heard, not heard to be seen. Little things like that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta observe and see like how she carries herself. When she's amongst men, like when there's men in the area, like how does she move? How does she act? Is she all up in men's face? Or is she off? Like playing her role, like because men can see things and like, oh, she's all up in she's in the circle. Men ain't we're very visual, so a woman that's silent, you know what I'm saying, and off to herself, that's a gift to the Most High. Even in your house, you don't want no loudmouth woman nagging in your ear. You know what I'm saying, talking crap to you and just being super disrespectful. Like nah, not I. That's well over not gonna happen. Like I've had my taste of that, and I'll never go. I'll never deal with nothing like that ever in my life again. So like that's a definite no, definitely no. Like I said, I'm kind of just gonna jump around. Like it's not no real class. I got some precepts I wanted to bring out. It was just on my spirit, man. Uh, let's go to Proverbs chapter 18 and verse 22. Proverbs 18 and 22. This is the book of Proverbs chapter 18 and verse 22. Whoso findeth a wife findeth a good thing, and obtaineth favor of the Lord Yahweh. What's that saying? You find if you me finding a wife, right? It's finding a good thing, and that's the Most High giving me a good wife. Why would He do that? He sees that I'm in these scriptures. He see that I'm doing my best to keep these laws. That I know I'm an Israelite. That I said that I want to be with an Israelite woman that's on the same accord with me. That uh that thinks the way I think. That keeps the laws with me. That keeps the high holy days. That wears a dress. That willing to submit to a righteous man. Willing to be led. Willing to be taught. That was a gift from the Most High. The Most High did that for me. So all praise the Most High for letting me find a wife, man. And it's a good thing that's attained from the Most High. So all praise the Most High for that. Real talk. Because you can get you a wicked woman, and getting a wicked woman or a bad wife, that's from the Most High too. Because why? Either you was wicked too. There was something that you was doing that was off. Why you even got a woman like that anyway in the first place? And I'm gonna get that for you real quick too, just to prove it. Sirach chapter 25 and verse 23. The Most High is gonna give you what you deserve. So I kind of be looking back on my past uh, experiences, with the women I dealt with, and I only can say like the Most High gave me what I deserve because like did I do was I like super? No, I was a good. I mean, not was I? I'm a good dude, but like why would I deal with certain women the way why did I waste a lot of years with my ex-wife and the things that I went through with her and like what I'm saying, like I'm not gonna get too deep in that, but the Most High, He has all the answers. All the answers is right here. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 25 and verse 23. A Slakia 25 and 25 and 23. Slakia. Hold on. Slagi. I wrote it down wrong. It's 26 and 23. There's a book of Sirach, chapter 26 and verse 23. A wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man, but a godly woman is given to him that fear of the Lord. So, not that I was being wicked, but was I fearing the Most High? Nah, I didn't. I didn't fear the Most High. I wasn't keeping no laws. Like I never was a pork eater, but was I smoking weed? Yeah. Was I smoking cigarettes? Yeah. Was I this is my testimony. Was I popping pain pills when I know yeah, I was doing that. Was I doing other things that I know I shouldn't have been doing? I was doing that. So the Most High gave me that was my portion because I was being wicked because I wasn't and it's like where'd you meet if you meet a woman in the club, you're gonna get a woman in the club. I met my wife now. Where I meet her in a congregation of Israelites. So that what do you expect you're gonna get? You meet somebody anyway. Yeah, a wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man, but a godly woman is given to him that fear the Lord. I started fearing the Most High. I started keeping these laws. I started wearing my fringes. Stop eating shrimp and crab and lobster. I never did the pork, but stop smoking weed. Eventually ease myself off the cigarettes. Where 2 hours I was doing the vape. Now now all that is out. Now the Most High is blessed me with a woman that's on the same mindset with me. That is now she's a godly woman. She fears the Most High. She's keeping these laws. She's submissive. She's quiet. She takes care of the home, teaching the kids. She's in the dress. I never seen my wife wear pants. You know what I'm saying? Like little stuff like that. Like even when she wears sweats, it kind of be throwing me off. Like because I don't ever see her wear pants. Just yeah, man. I got a God fearing wife, man. Shalom, brother. I'll praise the Most High. Thanks for tuning in. Let's see. Let's go to Genesis. Let's go to the beginning, man, with Adam and Eve. Let's go to Genesis chapter 2 and verse 18. This is what you should be looking for when you're looking for a wife. This is actually what a woman was created for in the first place. See, because we're as men, as Israelite men, you gotta realize that we're the prize. We're not in the world no more, and you gotta realize that women that we're not made for women. The woman is made for us, for the brothers. You know what I'm saying? And they have one purpose. They're why they were even created in the first place. We're gonna go to Genesis chapter 2 and verse 18. The Lord Yahweh said, "It is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him a helpmeet for him." What is that? A helpmeet. He made a helpmeet for us. What's a helpmeet? I'm going to work. If I'm feeling a little down, like she's there to pick me up, or she sees that I'm on a mission or a path to do something in life. She's there to help. Make sure that's that she's guiding me or making sure that I'm what I'm saying, like making those moves that I need to make, giving me encouraging words. If I feel some type of doubt spiritually or in my head, that she's there to lift me up and be that help me to make sure that giving me that extra push that I need to get us right as a family, as a union. You got to help me. You come home from work, my stomach is not touching my back. I got clean socks, clean, what I'm saying? Like, help me for me, make sure like I take care of all the heavy burdens, but you're there to help me to, to navigate and manage the little things that I need that I shouldn't have to worry about on during on my day. That's what you got your rib for to be there as a help me for, man. So all praise the Most High for that, man. Uh, let's go to let's go to Proverbs chapter 31 and verse 10. And I know all the sisters will be like, "Oh, this is my verse." But what is a virtuous woman? What is a virtuous woman? Chapter 31 and verse 10. And all the women that's in the truth say that it's so funny that all the women in the truth say that they're virtuous, right? But let's see what the Most High say, because that's not a common thing. It's not common to be a virtuous woman. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 31 and verse 10. Who can find a virtuous woman? Her price is as far as rubies. Her price is as far as rubies. Very rare. The heart, and this is what makes you a virtuous woman. They skip over verse 11. It says, the heart of her husband doeth safely trust in her. So my mind, I trust in my wife. That's what's gonna make you virtuous. That's one of the qualifications. It's not that you're saying that you're virtuous. It's me as your husband to even help you qualify to be a virtuous woman. Because what? I gotta trust you in my heart and my mind to even make you a virtuous woman. Verse 11, start from the top. The heart of her husband doeth safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. Hey, brothers, do you really trust your woman? That's what makes her a virtuous. Do you trust that she's gonna do you right? Do you trust that she ain't gonna backslide on you? That's something you really got to think about. If there's a room full of men and you're you step out, do you trust that your wife is not what's the word we used to call it, reckless eyeballing? If you know what reckless eyeballing means, is if you know, is she reckless eyeballing when you ain't looking? Do you trust that nobody's in her DMs, like full heartedly trust that she's doing the right thing? That's what makes her a virtuous woman, right? Verse 12, she will do him good and not evil all of her days, not some of her days, not a couple of her days, not when she feels like it, right? Verse 12, she will do him good and not evil all of her days. So until she the Lord calls her or the Lord calls me, every day she's not gonna do me no evil. She can do me good all days of my life. Every day, my day, I'll have a good day with my wife. Now, is there gonna be problems? Yeah, but how you handle that? You go in the scriptures. You correct her through the scripture. You navigate. It's not gonna be all peaches and cream, but for the most part, she ain't gonna do no evil to you. You know what I'm saying? So that's a virtuous woman. That's a virtuous woman. So all you women out there that say you're a virtuous woman, does your husband even say that you're virtuous? Does he trust in you wholeheartedly? Because that's what makes you virtuous, to even make you qualify for that. So yeah, let's go to let's see. Even dealing with women like in Israel, even in the Old Testament, when you find you a wife, we all know that we should only deal with women that's in the 12 tribes. We don't deal with no heathen women. We only deal with the women in Israel. But why do we do that? Because you deal with a heathen woman, the Most High said that your heart will turn away from him and you'll start serving other gods, like Solomon. Solomon had many wives, many concubines. But what happened in the long run? He went off. He started following idolatry, and the women, turn his heart away from the Most High. But you're only supposed to even deal with women in Israel only. So I made sure what was qualified. Oh, even though I never dealt with a heathen woman. Even when I was in the world, I always dealt with sisters. But those that don't know, This ain't like about no being racist, but you're not even supposed to deal with no so-called white girl, an Edomite. You're not supposed to deal with the Chinese, a Moabite. You're not supposed to deal with the East Indian woman, the Elam. You're not supposed to deal with the Africans, the Hamites. The Most High tell you do not mix your holy with any heathen women. We're gonna go to First Kings chapter 11 and verse 1. First Kings chapter 11 verse 1. But King Solomon loved many strange women. What strange women? Strange is the heathen, not any of the 12 tribes of Israel women. But King Solomon loved many strange women, together with the daughter of Pharaoh, women of the Moabites, Chinese, the Ammonites, the Edomites, so-called white girls, Zidonians, and Hittites, right? Of the nations concerning which the Lord Yahweh said unto the children of Israel, ye shall not go into them, neither shall they come into you, for surely they will turn away your heart after their gods. Solomon clave unto these in love. So that's where Solomon, he started to go off when he was dealing with them other nations of women. He was marrying the white girls, marrying them Chinese, marrying them Africans, and eventually, he started, his heart went away from the Most High. So even when you're getting married, make sure that you're dealing with people of your own nation. Don't step out and mingle your holy seed with these heathens. Let's go to another precept regarding that. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 3. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. Verse 4. For they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly. That's gonna the Most High, he's gonna be angry if you're dealing with on this verse context. And a lot of people like to say that this verse is out of context, talking about all nations. Yes, he's talking about certain African nations when you read up, but overall, we read in First Kings that King Solomon started dealing with other nations besides Africans, and what happened? Their heart got turned away from the Most High. You'll be serving their gods. What do you think? You think Becky is going to go to the feast dedication, or is she going to want to go and serve Santa? Do you think Chong Li is going to want to go to feast dedication, or is she going to want to go to a Buddha festivity? So eventually your heart is going to be turned from the Most High. You're going to start shedding your ways for your woman, and eventually you're going to, all of a sudden, fringes is going to stop being on your shirt. All of a sudden, it's going to be the Sabbath, and you're going to be going to the Chinese buffet. Or Becky's going to have you go to Olive Garden Friday night. So the Most High said, don't deal with any other woman when you're when you're thinking about marriage and having that bond with a woman. Make sure that she's in your nation, 12 tribe of Israel. And we got 12 tribes. You get Judah, the beautiful black woman. We got his so-called Hispanics, Northern Kingdom. You can get you a so-called Indian Gadite woman. There's all our women in Israel are the most beautiful women anyway. So if you want to deal with a stringy haired dog, I mean, there's something wrong. You gotta check your spirit anyway. So make sure you're dealing with your own kind. Big con. So when I was proving my wife, man, I knew that there were certain things that I needed to not have going on in the house. Certain things that I didn't want to deal with no wickedness. I needed peace. I want peace. I feel that I deserve peace. And even the Most High tells you like certain women that you really don't want to deal with. Let's go to Sirach chapter 26. We already did that one. Let's go to Sirach chapter 25 and verse 16. 25 and 16. And this is a cold precept right here, because like when I say I know exactly what this precept means, like I've experienced and dealt with it. This is some this hits. This is book of Sirach chapter 25 and verse 16. I'd rather dwell with a lion and a dragon than to keep a house with a wicked woman. What's that saying? Like I'd rather have a dragon in my house that breathes fire, right? Or a lion in the house that can bite my head off than to deal with a wicked woman. Now, like on a spirit, like on a carnal mindset, like if you ever go to work, you work 12 hours days, and when it's time to clock out, and you got to go home, that you don't, you kind of like dread going home. That's what that means to me, because I've experienced that. Like, damn, I'm about to all right, go to work. I bust my ass, and it's time to go home. I'm clocking out, dreading to go home. That's rather dwelling with a lion and a dragon than to deal with a wicked woman, right? Let's go to verse. Let's go to Sirach 26 and verse 25. And there's another verse like that just be hidden, because I get it. This book of Sirach chapter 26 and verse 25. A shameless woman shall be counted as a dog. So, I mean, let's just keep it 100. A shameless woman, what's a female dog, right? A shameless woman should be counted as a right? And but she that is shamefaced will fear the Lord. So what does that mean? What does that mean? A shameless woman that would count as a dog. That's a woman that be out there, stepping out on her husband with not a thought in the world, right? Or out there sleeping around, knowing that she's married, or just making herself available, and not even shameless with it, or even doing it so much in your face, where it's like you don't have no shame, like you're not even hiding it, you're it is like it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? And the Most High said that you should be counted as a female dog, and we know what a female dog is. That's thus saith the Lord. That's not my words. But right here though, but she that is shamefaced will fear the Lord. Now what does that mean? A woman that has a clear conscience to do right by her husband, right? But why though? Because she fears the judgment of the Most High. That if she does me wrong, that there's judgment with the Most High with that, you know. So, like I said, just be careful with the women that you choose, man, because she can make your days long, or she can stress you the hell out, man. Where you rather dwell with a dragon than to even deal with her. Trust me, from experience, like that's nothing that you don't want to deal with. But let's talk about like we all know that marriage is supposed to be that's forever. That's a covenant between you and the Most High. Uh, that's nothing to be played with. But let's talk about what could be the cause of divorce, anyways, in the first place when it comes to this truth or the Bible, right? There's a book of Matthew, chapter 19, and chapter 19 and verse 18. So the Pharisees asked, I'm going to give you context. The Pharisees asked Yahushua about divorce, right? Can basically they try to put him in a trick bag, like, well, Moses said that you can divorce your wife, give her a bill of divorce, and put her away. But how do you feel about that? In so many words, that's context, right? And this verse 18, and he said unto him, verse 18, he said unto him, which Jesus said, Yahushua said, Thou shalt do no murder. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness. Slaki, what's that verse at? 19 and what's that verse? Slaki. Hold on one second. Oh, Slaki, we're going to go to verse 9. 19 and verse 9. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 19 and verse 9. And I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife, except it be for fornication, and shall marry another, committeth adultery. And whosoever marrieth her which is put away, doeth commit adultery. So Yahweh, the only way that you can even divorce your woman is if she goes out and defiles her body. If she lays with another man, in the eyes of the Most High, in the eyes of Yahweh, you're to put that woman away. If you divorce your, especially in this truth, now in the world, like we didn't know certain things. You might be on husband number 2 or 3. You might be on wife 2 or 3 or whatever. But that was in the world. But now that you know in this truth, that's why it is very serious. Like with these scriptures and knowing who you are, like unless it be for fornication that your wife step out on you, you cannot put your wife away for nothing. Because what's gonna happen? Now you're gonna cause her to commit adultery, and the next man that she deals with is gonna be in adultery. So you gotta be very careful with that, and that's nothing to play with. So you can't just wake up one morning and I don't like the way your breath smells, or you just get on my goddamn nerves, right? I want a divorce. I'm not happy. Like what y'all women say in the world, I'm just not happy no more. So what? You're not here. That's not what marriage ain't just about you, how you feel being happy, right? You can't just up and divorce your husband because you're just not happy no more. No, you're about to be in adultery, and the next man you deal with is about to be in adultery. So if you're in this truth, or you're dealing with somebody's wife, you're committing adultery. Period. Point blank. If you're dealing with a woman and you know that you're not going to marry her, right? You're committing fornication. And then it's true. There's brothers that I'm hearing stories, whatever. Like you're dealing with a woman, and or she used to be married, and I'm not going to marry because she. But then why are you dealing with her then? Because now both of y'all in the midst of adultery. So it makes no sense. It makes no sense at all. So the only way you can divorce your wife is if she steps out on you. Unless anything else is happening, you better stick it out and deal with it and get in these scriptures and repent and seek counsel and make it work. Thus saith the Lord. So let's see. Let's go to the order. Let's go to the order of the household in the first place, right? Like I said, you want to be in this truth. You want to deal with a woman that's like-minded. You don't want to deal with no worldly woman, because women in the world definitely don't believe in this scripture. How dare you say that I'm above you and we're not equal and all? No, that's nonsense. That's why you got to prove her first. Let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 3. But I will have you know that the head of every man is Christ. So my head is Yahushua. And the head of every woman is the man. So my ribs head, that's me, right? And the head of Yahushua is Yahweh, right? So there's a certain order that you gotta make sure that your wife is knows there is a certain order. Is the Most High first, Most High Yahweh, then his son Yahushua, then the husband, and then the wife. We're not on equal playing fields. It's not a 50-50. It's not. No, I'm the head, and you're there's an order. So, like you said, these are those questions that you gotta, when it comes to the proving stage, you gotta make sure that she respects his order and she understands, especially in this truth. Right? It sounds good, but does she really follow that? Is she really about that? You gotta, you know, test certain things and see if she's really about that. So there's order, right? So let's see. Let's go to First Peter chapter 3 and verse 6. First Peter chapter 3 and verse 6. And a lot of sisters they hear this verse and they like, oh, what she's in. Nah. We're gonna give you thus save the Lord. First Peter chapter 3 and verse 6. Does your wife do this? Ask yourself. Even as Sarah obeyed, what's the word? Even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughters ye are, whose daughters you are, sisters in Israel, right? As long as ye do well and are not afraid with any amazement. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's not about no power trip. It ain't no like, you know, you got to be in the spirit. Does your wife obey you? If you tell her to shut the hell up, like, hey, hold on, I don't want to hear that. Is she talking back? Right? Hey, I need you to get in there and bust some suds real quick. The dishes stacking up. Is she? Yes, my lord. Is she giving you back? Is she giving you back talk or nah, my F you go do it. Is she obeying your commands? Right? Is she really doing that? Because her forefather did. The scriptures say in verse 6, even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord. So what's that? Just like, a lot of like our sisters, in the world, oh, you're not Christ. But it says right here, right? Calling him Lord. So just like that's my Lord, Yahushua is my head, you got to look at me as I am Yahushua, as I am, as I am, you're going to give me that same respect as your husband as you would give Yahushua respect or reverence to. So yeah, I'm your Lord, so you're gonna give me respect as I am your Lord, right? Whose daughter ye are. As long as you do well, and you're gonna be doing well by doing these things, and are not afraid with any amazement. You're not afraid to obey your husband. You're not afraid to be submissive. You're not afraid to take orders or uh, commands if he's asking you, not, in righteousness, not being, like how to discern things. Like if a nigga's wicked, he's wicked. But you got a righteous man and he's giving you an order to do something. You there shouldn't be no problem whatsoever. You should be, yes, my Lord. Okay, I got you. I'm gonna handle that. Real talk, man. Real talk. Let's see. But you also gotta be able to, being in the truth. I had to step my game up, because you're dealing with women in the truth. You gotta be able to what? You gotta be able to protect. You gotta be able to provide, and you gotta be able to teach her. If she asks you a question in the scriptures, you don't want to, look dumb. Like, oh, you can't always. Oh, I don't know. Let me get back with you, or nah. You gotta be able to you gotta be studied up, or have some type of understanding to teach her. Also, you gotta teach her so she can teach the kids, right? Let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 14 verse 34. 1 Corinthians 14 and 34. And it reads, let your woman keep silence in the church, for it is not permitted unto them to speak, but they are commanded to be under what? Obedience, as also saith the law. And if they will learn anything, that's anything, right? And if they will learn anything, let them ask her husband at home, for it is a shame for a woman to speak in the church. Not saying you cannot talk in the church. You need to be quiet. That's not what that's saying. What I look like, I'm in the truth, my wife's in the truth, right? And we're in class and she's going up to leadership or another man, right, asking a damn question about scripture. Hold on, like you should feel some type of way. Like, hold on, like first of all, you got to order for even doing that. But how do you feel as a man that you see, your wife has no confidence in asking you a question, right? Ain't nothing wrong with not knowing everything, right? But like the common things, or nothing that's too deep. You can't give her no answer. You can't give her no understanding where she goes to another man or leadership when she should be asking you, her husband. So you got to be on your game to even want to be married to a wife, to be able to even teach her these scriptures. So you guys make sure your game is stepped up. Yeah, is your finances right? Are you able to even take care of a woman? You able to take care of a woman that got kids? Are you able to take care of your own kids? Right? These are the questions that you got to ask yourself before you even step in that realm of marriage, because you gotta be able to provide for not only her. She's leaving. Back in those days, she's leaving her home, her father under her father's home, where she was taken care of, and now what? You're taking on that role. Are you able to provide? Are you able to take on that role of taking care of this woman? Are your how what's your funds looking like? You got a roof over your head, right? Are you walking to work? Just little things like you gotta make sure that yourself's in order at the same time. Make sure that you're right to be able to even qualify to even be a husband to this woman, a righteous woman at least, right? Let's see. Let's go to like and even like I said, like I was saying before, like it's not all gonna be peaches cream every day, right? But when situations do arrive or happen, how are you going about uh, handling it? First, you always put the Most High first. You're keeping these laws, keeping these commandments, but you want to get in these scriptures and be able to navigate through, like, hey, like we need to read this, like, this is where you was off. You be able to show her, give her some understanding of, where she's going off at. Let's go to Ephesians chapter 2 and Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 2, right? With all lowliness and meekness and long suffering, forbearing one another in love. Let's read that again. So with your wife, these are things that you want to do, right? With all loneliness and meekness. So you're not yelling at your woman. You ain't cussing her out, calling out her name. That's not being a man. That's not being a husband. You want to be meek with your wife. You want to, hey, baby, we not getting these scriptures. Like you're starting to go off. Like what, I see some wickedness going on. Like let's navigate through the scriptures, and so I can show you like where you're going off at. Like you don't need a Bible beater. You know what I'm saying with the scriptures, but just be stern. Like navigate right with all loneliness and meekness and long suffering. You got to have some patience with your wife. That's really like the fruits of the spirit. You gotta use the fruits of the spirit with your wife too. It's not just there to be said like, oh, the fruits of the spirit. You gotta have the fruits of the spirit with everybody, with your brothers, with your sisters, and especially your wife, right? Forbearing one another in love, right? Verse 3. Endeavoring to keep the unity of the spirit in the bond of peace. So we're striving to keep this unity of the spirit, right? We're striving to keep this bond, and we're striving to have peace in the household. Like I said, that no peace in the household, is like dwelling with a lion and a dragon. So you want to push to have peace in your home. You want to push to keep that bond together, man. And not you don't got to be all disrespectful. You shouldn't have to raise your voice. I understand, brothers, get in the heat of the moment, you might raise your voice, but to be constantly down your wife's throat, man, that's unhealthy, and eventually it's gonna blow up into something that's you're gonna start, that's when Satan's gonna kick in, and he's gonna see some type of void in your marriage, man. So you want to make sure that you're staying in these scriptures when it comes to your wife, man, and certain issues that you have. Let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 4. Oh yeah, this is a good verse right here. Let's go to this book of 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 4. Charity suffereth long, and is kind. Charity, it neveth not. Charity, charity vaunteth not itself. It is not puffed up. So what's charity? That's having that long suffering with your woman. Like, that's showing, showing that extra step, showing that emotion, that the emotions that she need, right? Even with the suffering along with, even if you feel that she's getting on your nerves or she's going off, that you have, some type of patience and long suffering with your woman, because you gotta remember they're the weaker vessel, right? So it's on you to, guide her, have some patience with her, and get her right, get her in order. Like, don't be so quick and being impatient when something comes about. Have some long suffering with her, right? And by doing that, that's showing some type of charity, right? Let's go to Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 32. I love this verse right here. This is the book of Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 32. And be ye kind one to another. I'm going to say that again. And be ye kind to one another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as Yahweh for Yahweh Shai's sake have forgiven you. Y'all might argue. Y'all might have y'all days, right? But, don't hold a grudge. Don't go to bed at night mad at each other, right? And forgive one another. Talk it out. Just like you want to be forgiven when them skies crack open and hope there's some mercy on you, and you want to be forgiven. Forgive your wife too, man. Wives, forgive your husband if it's a short little argument. Don't go to bed angry. You don't want it to carry over the next day, right? Um, let's go to Ephesians chapter 5. We're gonna stay in the same book. Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 22. Ooh, I like this one right here. This is the book of Ephesians chapter 5 verse 22. Wives, submit yourself unto your own husbands as unto the Lord. For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church, and he is the Savior of the body. Therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything. Husbands, I'm not just getting on the women. There's qualifications for us too. Verse 25. Husbands, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it, that he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of the water by the word, which is those are the commandments. The washing of the water is the commandments. That he might be present, that he might present it to himself a glorious church, not having spot or wrinkle or any such thing, but that it should be holy and without blemish. So ought men to love their wives as their own bodies. He that loveth his wife loveth himself. For no man ever yet hated his own flesh, but nourished and cherished it, even as the Lord the church. For we are all members of his body, of his flesh, and of his bones. For this cause shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall be joined unto his wife, and they two shall be one flesh. This is a great mystery, but I speak concerning Christ and the church. So what that's saying, like, just like how Christ loved the church, right, is how us as men, husbands should be loving our wives. I don't hate myself. I don't slap myself. I'm not gonna be hating my woman. I'm not gonna be putting my hands on her because I want to do that to myself, right? Just little thing that you want to make sure that your wife is without blemish or spot. Because it's on you to make sure that as men that we're leading them to even get salvation. Because we're supposed to be one teaching them, right? So we want to make sure that their garments that their clothes are clean without spot. It's really that's a big responsibility to make sure that even our wives are going to make it to the kingdom, right? Um, let's see. I probably got a couple more. Let's go to. Matter of fact, I got one more. I didn't want to make this too long. Like I said, I had my little testimony today. The Spirit came upon me to do a class after my wedding yesterday. I just wanted to touch up on some marriage scriptures, and I didn't want to make it too long. This is the book of First. We're gonna go to 1 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 1, and we're gonna read down to 7. This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 1. Now concerning the things whereof ye wrote unto me, it is good for a man not to touch a woman. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own husband. Let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence, and likewise also the wife unto her husband. So what's that saying right there? If I want it, it's mine. If you want it, it's yours. You gotta provide each other, with our our sexual desires. And verse 2, what it says, nevertheless, to avoid fornication. So to avoid, having sex outside of marriage or being with somebody without having no commitment of marriage, let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own husband. We're going to jump down to verse 4. The wife have not power of her own body, but the husband. And likewise also the husband not have. Slakia, let me read that again. The wife have not power of her own body, but the husband. And likewise also the husband have not power of his own body, but the wife. Defraud ye not one another, except it be with consent for a time, that ye may give yourselves to fasting and prayer, and come together again, that Satan tempt you not for your incontinency. So what that's saying? Like don't deny each other sex, right? And if you're not being intimate with each other, unless it be for fasting or praying, or she has her issue, right? Or you guys agree to do it for a time, but after that time, y'all come together. So Satan don't try to come in your marriage and tempt the man or the woman to go off or do something that they shouldn't be doing, right? Verse 6. But I speak this by permission and not by commandment. For I would that all men were even as myself. Why? Because Paul he made a covenant with the Most High that he wasn't dealing with a woman. Like he was like doing Yahushua's business. He was waking up the people. He didn't have no wife. He didn't want to deal with no wife. So this is just basically some advice that he was giving us to, if it was up to him, he's saying like, look, I'd rather you not even, I'd rather you be like me and not even have a wife, but to avoid fornication, because, we all have our urges. He's saying that, let every man have his own wife and let every woman have her own husband. I'm going to finish out this last verse and I'm going to end it there. Verse 7, for I would that all men were even as myself, but every man hath his proper gift of God, one after this manner, and another after that. Verse 8, I say therefore to the unmarried and widows, it is good for them if they abide even as I. But if they cannot contain, let them marry. For it's better to marry than to burn. So that's Paul, trying to give some advice. Like, hey, brothers, like, I'd rather you, do be what I'm on and be, but I haven't still to this day, in this truth, seen a brother that strong to be, not dealing with a woman and he's full fledged, you know, for the Most High. I'm not saying that he's not for the Most High if you're dealing with a woman, but I still haven't seen no man that's saying, "Look, I'm not gonna deal with no woman. I ain't laying down with her. I'm just." I still haven't seen it yet. So, and I'm not one of those men. So, Paul, all praises for that. But yeah, I just want to give a couple precepts, give my testimony. About marriage. And where I stand and my little experience and what I feel like, going forward, how I'm gonna approach my marriage, my wife, and my rib, man. And I just praise the Most High that He brought her in my life, you know, and we're like minded, and love her to death. I know she loved me to death, and we're locked in. But that's it, man. I just wanted to give all honor, all praise to the Most High, Yahweh. We do so by His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. And with that, I say shalom. Shalom, Israel.